Hey guys, what's going on? Bloomson here and welcome back to another video. Now, right now when you're watching this video, I'm actually on holiday. In actual fact, I should be on the plane around about the time this video is being launched. And I'm away for over 2 weeks, meaning the next 6 videos will actually be done before I'm on holiday and won't be done the day before or anything like that. So that does mean that the videos are somewhat outdated, and if there's any new information that comes out, I won't be able to cover it straight away. I did kind of have a plan to get a laptop, but that kind of fell through. I would have loved to be able to make videos and upload them. There's Wi-Fi on the bus because we're doing a tour around California. That would have been great if I could upload stuff. But unfortunately, like I said, that plan fell through. Really makes it inconvenient because it could have been so much easier, but you know, you gotta do it as is. But without further ado, we'll get straight to this video. Today I want to talk to you guys about Escape from Tarkov. Now, you've probably heard about it already, but I haven't talked about it before, so I really wanted to get into it and give some detail behind it. Now, the reason I say you've probably already heard about this game is because it's generating a ton of buzz in the YouTube community, and really the gaming community as well. The game looks ultra realistic and is definitely DayZ-like, but is so much more sort of diverse, deep, and more armor-like than actually DayZ. What I mean by this is DayZ is basically a simple run around, get weapons, shoot people. Escape from Tarkov has so many different layers to it. The company says that the game involves RPG, simulator, and MMO features into a first-person shooter world and reality. And that's something we've never seen before. And the overall story for Escape from Tarkov is pretty basic, but you know, they want to have a story at least. Basically, in the Novinsk region in Russia, the city of Tarkov has gone to social collapse where politicians started to fight over the city basically, and then something like gangs began to fight along with the politicians and work together, at which point the whole city collapsed and went into serious meltdown. At which point it was split into two sort of separate sides, each controlled by a different gang, the USEC or USEC and the Bear or BEAR. These are the factions you'll be able to choose and play as, and actually go around exploring the city and the entire region. So why is this game getting so much buzz? Mainly because it is unbelievably realistic. If you ever played a game where it acts just like in real life, where you go up and you pick things individually, this is the game that you have been waiting for. I will get into some more of the realistic features afterwards, but I'm going to just cover the basic stuff first. So, first of all, like I said, this game has tons of things we've never seen before, or never seen done well before in certain video games. Along with having these two factions, there will be story-driven scenarios and raids, where hopefully people will be drawn in to a certain area, just look for good loot, and start conflicts there. This is one thing that DayZ didn't do well, in the fact that you just randomly walk up to someone and decide to shoot them or not. There was never a thing with a sort of a battle going on unless you had a group of friends. Now that there's the factions and they're all brought together by one objective, that's great. That means there's going to be so many cool combat moments, and it's going to be a lot of fun to try. There's actually acres of land to explore. There's military bases, civilian blocks, nuclear power plants, hidden secret areas holding special loot, and tons of other places. There's like scientist labs where you probably be able to find some medical equipment, and there's so much around. Skirmishes, like I said, will happen, and there's actually scavengers, which are AI basically, which will try and fight against you, and they're always hostile, I believe. But when you go to a certain area, you're not just going to walk around and take anything. You know, AI civilians or scavengers will actually try and shoot you. So now, like I said, we'll get into the realism of this game. Now, the physical characteristics that your character will experience are things like dehydration, energy loss, blood pressure, blood loss, fractures and bones, contusions, toxication, exhaustion, tremors, and even more. Now, even more, what can that mean? That is incredible, the amount they've got already. It's basically you have to monitor your entire body when playing the game. I've played games before where you have to kind of look out for it, but the problem I always find with it is that it doesn't give it clearly enough. I end up having to go through certain menus to find something rather than having it all displayed there in little level bars. That's what I kind of hope it'll be. I know some people want a more in-depth thing where you have to, actually do different things or get this to find out what your character's like, but this makes it so much more less fun, and I end up quitting the game earlier because it means I have to go on further and further and further to get something. I just want to find out how my character's doing and carry on. There's even more things though, like crouching. You can actually crouch different levels. I believe using the mouse wheel, you can actually decide your character to crouch sort of high, low, medium, and go even further down. So if there's a hole, you can see through, but it's not quite in the standard crouching range. You can actually adjust that to look perfectly through it. They say weapons are actually true to life in the way they recoil and bounce around. We know that they will jam, they will overheat, they will wear down, and you have to maintain them, as well as charging them yourself. So when you put a magazine in, the weapon's not going to charge itself. You have to do it by a manual button, I assume. And also there's no magazine counter, and when you get a magazine out, you can either decide to put it somewhere and store the bullets, but that'll take longer, meaning you can't shoot anyone, or you can just throw it away, put a new one in, but lose all of those bullets. Now you can basically customize anything about a weapon. You can change the barrel, you can change the grip if you want to, the stock. You can put a M4 stock on the back of an AK if you have the right component. You can even take the dust cover off an AK rifle. And if you know what that does, it actually reveals the bolt, so you can see the bolt traveling back and forth inside the weapon. That kind of level of customization is something we've never seen before, and it's really cool. You can also get two different weapons that don't look identical. One's broken, the other one is somewhat broken but has some broken parts on it, and you can actually switch them around to get a perfectly functioning weapon. Hell, you can even customize things to make them completely different at all. Like I said, you can take an M4 stock, put it on an AK. I'm sure then there's things like you can modify to have the a silencer off one weapon and put it on a weapon that it really shouldn't go on, but if you have the right components, you can do it. So like I said, there's hostile AI in the game, of course. Now, we don't know yet about how many players there will be in a game. I imagine it's going to be quite a lot. I think 60 is about the minimum mark, really. Up to 100 is probably, pretty good. And honestly, if there's only one thing about this game, in terms of rules, the only rule is that there is no rules. There is nothing that says you can't do this or that. Now that can be good or bad. With no rules, that doesn't mean you can go around and do whatever. It also means that everyone else can do that, and you'll probably get shot quite a lot. And when you die, you lose everything, unless you were killed by a hostile AI, in which case you'll respawn with everything you had before. I do like that feature, because some of the time hostile AI in games can just be slightly annoying and cheesy in a way, and you can get killed and lose everything you had, which is always frustrating. Now, I've basically covered everything you need to know. I left a few things out that were minor details, but I will leave a link to the website down below in the description. Go and check that out. Until then, guys, Blue Monsoon, out.